All right, everybody, that's right. We're back and better than ever. You already know it's the best podcast in the A15. This is Beyond the Cube. We're doing the whole live video thing again, so, you guys are seeing this right here. You're also seeing that dude right over there, too, who is Vince. Vince, what's up, man? What's happening?
Well, I can say that it's me and you being back is not as important right now to you, I feel, as baseball is back. I mean, I know I've actually come by a couple times now, and I've seen the W flying. So, yeah, I haven't seen the Beyond the Cube flag flying at all. So, I figure baseball is the more important thing right now.
We don't have any flags out yet. That's a yet thing. Definitely something that we could look into because, it's not going to be every day that the Cubs are going to win. Like, actually, tonight, they playing in Cincinnati, but game is postponed because of weather. They got to stop postponed because of COVID or Corona. That would be terrible. Yeah, dude, so happy that baseball is back. It's funny because, leading up to the season, me and you, we kind of discussed, and I was talking about how I didn't really want to give my money to the Cubs network because they're owned by Sinclair ultimately, and but when it came down to it, like the day of opening season, Marquee Network made an announcement that they had an agreement with Comcast, and I was like, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Sign me up, take my money, please. But man, no, kind of with with what the family's been going through and stuff over the past month. Baseball and following the Cubs, it brought a lot of kind of normalcy kind of back into the family and stuff. And for me and for the I would say I mean, and not only that, but it's been great that they've been pretty decent this year too. So except the bullpen, man, bullpen's straight garbage. It's scary.
That's usually how the season's like how our team is though,
Yep.
It's like we can have offense, but it's like as soon as you pull that starting pitcher, it's like what's gonna happen now? And I mean I remember that from seasons past, and I mean even current. I really haven't been able to catch many of the games. I've actually caught them on the radio though. Have listened to the score the few times that I'm like in the car and traveling, and it almost never fails where anytime I'm in the car there's a Cubs game that's going on. Like today was the first exception to that rule. So otherwise, I guess my Rangers aren't doing so good. Was that like 2 and 3? It looks like right now.
I haven't been paying attention to your Rangers because I've been so wrapped up in the Cubs. But their best, their big offseason pickup was a pitcher, and I think he lasted maybe 18 pitches, I think, and he had an assessment, and it looks like he's done for the year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Well,
but,
one out of two teams is doing good this season then, so I'm happy with that. I mean, I'll take that.
Knock on wood. It's just it's because it's a weird, crazy, upside down sort of season. Of course, Cubs going to be decent.
Yeah.
No, honestly though, just really happy just to have baseball back. Honestly, it's been the whole thing with when I realized that I can go out there and fly the W flag, and I was like, oh my god, it's been not quite a year. Because on the snap I said it's been over a year, which it hasn't been more than a year. It's been about close to a year, honestly. But to be able to just to go outside and go do that was just like, dude, yes, this is great. This is what it's supposed to be.
No, for sure. I mean, I've heard that one of the teams too was really afflicted with COVID. I think it was like, the Marlins had like 14 players out or something like that, like something insane. And I don't even know how you run a season then like that. That's
dude. I don't know. It's scary to think about because I mean, it was the Marlins and they were playing in Philadelphia. They they're supposed to be having testing like every other day. I believe you get tested. So one group gets tested one day, the next group gets tested the next day, and it was like the flight back, and something like 10 players and 2 coaches tested positive, and then the next day I want to say there was like another couple of players that tested positive. So then at that point, the team they're playing against, automatically right off the top, canceled. And the team where they played at in Philadelphia, I believe that they canceled, a couple of games there and stuff. But it's just it's sad that baseball couldn't even make it out of a weekend
Yeah.
before that happened. And like their worst fear was like that next day basically, which sucks. Once again, you totally hate to see it. Shout out to the Cubs for staying healthy though. Nobody on the Cubs has got corona, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Um, but like I said, you hate to see it, dude. And it's like one of those things where I'm just like, I knew in my head that as great as having baseball back was,
Hmm.
like, and it's just like what's gonna happen, honestly. And out of the sports that like that you can watch on TV, I felt like baseball legitimately seems to kind of have like a chance
Hmm.
where you're not really next to somebody all the time, so you are kind of spaced out in a way. So I mean, it could possibly work.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, who knows how the Marlins got Corona? I mean, it's not like the Marlins were going to be like, a team that was going to run deep into the playoffs or anything. I mean, they're traditionally sort of garbage.
Yeah.
So, if any team was to get the Rona, it would be the Marlins, of course.
Well, I mean, hey, sometimes you go out there, you test fate, and then, I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's how it is.
I test fate every day, bro. You
Really?
got to test fate at least once every day. And this was actually like a topic that we posted on Facebook. Submit your feedback on how do you test fate. Even after the podcast, once this gets posted on the streaming platforms and when we get it up on YouTube, send us something on Twitter. Let us know how you test your fate daily. I'm gonna tell you how I test my fate every single day. I never set an alarm, ever. Never set an alarm. Haven't set an alarm at least for at least a year. I know
Yeah.
this for a fact. I just sort of have this sort of thing where like I'm up usually at like 6:30, or sometimes even earlier than that.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I will wake up and it's 7:30. The scary thing is and when I really am really pushing it is like the times when I wake up at 6:30 and I'm just like I'm not setting an alarm. We're just gonna let this ride and see what happens. See what time I get up and hope that it's 7:30. Um, but no, yeah, I'm testing fate that way, dude. I threw this out to Lane. Shout out to Lane. He told me he tests fate by when nobody's in the house,
Mhm.
pooping with the door open, which I think that's fabulous, man. That's a great one. You are seriously putting just fate out there that like we're testing it, seeing how this goes by pooping with the door open. It's great.
I don't, man, I don't think, like, I don't know. So I don't know how this has happened, but me, like, growing up, we were always I guess there's even terms for this, where it's like, was it like closed door poopers or open door poopers, And for us, it's like the family was always closed door. Like, what was it? Didn't know that. Honestly, like, I was only like informed of this during what was it, a show of Robin Big, like when Rob Dyrdek was like, that was one of the topics of discussion, because Big had kind of like walked in and like Rob's just sitting there just doing his business, and he's like, yeah, he's like, you mean you don't do this? And man, I cannot, no, like, I'm like, so when we first had talked about this, like, I tried to rack my brain and I cannot think of anything that I do that I really like test fate, like, even like I set the alarm every day, even my car, the time in my car is set like, was like 11 minutes fast, so that I don't get to wherever I am like late, like, I know, right? Like, I take all these precautions to just kind of not, just, I don't know, like, be the way, or like live the way I need to. Um, Otherwise, like I said, I can't really think of anything that I've really tested fate with. I mean, I'll do the card reading stuff, but I mean, that's more like, looking for insight, or like seeing what the future holds. Not
True.
really, not really, like tempting it to just be like, hey, it's like, come at me, let's do this.
Yep. Every day, no alarm set. I don't really care. I think, you know what, I got this. it's proven. You know, every day I've got up. There was one day probably maybe 2 weeks ago, where I may have really, really, really pushed my boundary as to when I should have got up and been prepared to do certain things.
Yeah.
It was super close, but I mean, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the right word I want to say is because I don't want to make it sound like egregious, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, no, it was really, really, really close. Put it that way. I was really pushing the boundaries that day. But no, Oliver does a really good job of usually waking me up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oliver. You know, Oliver's been posting a few things here and there on the social media again. The haircut that he had that he got, he's really grown into it. So feeling good about himself and happy. He's also a big Cubs fan too. Enjoys watching the Cubs, which is awesome. So shout out to Ollie, man.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
Well-
happy for you.
Okay, so you know what? Now that I thought about it, maybe I am testing fate with Taco Bell. Like before, like it used to not be an issue because my stomach was used to that, But now, because of the whole like no sugar, no wheat, no flour thing, like I'm gonna let you know that last like quesadilla, or was it the quesadilla? Quesadilla. Sorry.
So,
But those like it. What do you call it? It's one of those things where it's like you're so used to saying it one way as a joke, and then it just comes out as like, oh, whoops, this is serious time, not joking time. But it's like when you have like had one, did not sit well with me at all. Like I did not feel good for like the next few hours. So, but
I know what you mean because just I need to post a picture of this. Actually, I haven't done it and I haven't shared it on our social media. But Tuesday I think was chicken strip day, which may not mean nothing to a lot of people. A lot of people really really enjoy chicken strips.
Yeah.
However, the people in the A15 where we're located at really 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 love the crap out of their chicken strips. Like love them so much that like we're talking waiting in line for probably at least 90 minutes. At least. Dude, I took a picture. Okay, so we went ahead and ordered, Candlelight. Shout out to the A15 again, Candlelight and the Chicken George. It's great. But anyways, yeah, ordered some dinner, for the family and stuff, and kind of sort of knew that there was a special and didn't really think about it. I found out really quick that it was chicken strip day because, dude. So went out to the one here in Sterling, and I drove past and I laughed like, you got to be kidding me. You seriously got to be kidding me. The first thing I did was I went into the spot next to the restaurant, which is like a wall clipper, I believe.
Yeah.
And I called Leah and I was like, you've got to see this, and turned the camera on and drove because there was a line of people at the door too. So it's the drive-through goes around this restaurant, this facility, and the cars started from there, went all the way out alongside of the opposite side of the road, to be on that side of the street, going all the way down the whole entire. It's a country block. It's not a city block, so a little bit longer. So it goes down, and then there's a car dealership right there where that intersection is at. And then it went all the way down that street, and that's where I was at. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I sat in the car for about, I think, 35 minutes, and I moved maybe 4 car lengths. And I told Leah, I was like, can't do it. I was like, I cannot do it. So that whole long story to talk about chicken strip day in the A15 was basically to say that what I ended up buying was a cheese pizza and a Hawaiian pizza from Little Caesars on the app. Now,
Really?
Y'all know how much I love ordering Little Caesars on the app. And that whole process was great because we got a couple of looks as soon as I was going in with the hot and ready code stuff. People like, what the hell? What kind of sorcery did he just have? Homie, you got to order on the app is what it is.
Yep.
But you know what? It's been a month at least. Probably, it's been a month at least since I've had Little Caesars. And it just wasn't the same, dude.
Oh yeah.
I kind of got hip to the thin crust stuff with Little Caesars. The thin crust pepperoni.
Yeah.
Man, It's solid. I like it. You know, it's good. We decided to go just normal hand tossed or whatever, and the crust wasn't terrible, but it was like the red sauce was just not the same, dude. It was a little bit. It was not even a little bit different. It was a lot different,
Oh wow.
truthfully. And like I said, you kind of lost me sort of there, truthfully, with
Yeah.
the sauce, man. Yeah, the toppings were normal, but the
They
sauce
just
just wasn't the same.
they just have to relearn how to make pizzas. That's all.
Yeah,
I mean, like I don't know, like maybe it could be a sourcing or something. I don't know. So
it could have been.
it,
Could
yeah.
have very well been.
There's so many like reasons why, but hey, that might be the next thing I try to test fate with is Little Caesars pizza. See how that treats me. But I don't know if I'm ready to dive that far into it. Like that seems to be like the extra one to go to. Um, Man, I'm looking at so okay. I know you had asked me this before, but you had not explained it, right? You had asked what my thoughts were on Ben Stiller, and I like you kind of got some of my response because I am not a big fan of his. Like, I don't know, it's just his humor is the it's not something that I kind of like am feeling, you know. But I mean, like him, Will Ferrell, Steve Carell. I don't know what it is with like that kind of humor that they like really put forth. However, the most random one is Zoolander. Kind of really loved Zoolander. Like that was probably my one, or was it Dodgeball, of course. But I think that's more of a Vince Vaughn kind of movie than
Yeah, I would say so.
Ben Stiller, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so what was the background on this one here?
Okay, so I don't remember how this happened, but we just sort of laid it on. There's something about Mary,
Yeah.
and we started it from the beginning. And so, for me, that's the first Ben Stiller movie I can think of.
Mhm.
Is There's something about Mary, and truthfully, I laughed so hard in that movie throughout a lot of different parts of it
Yeah.
that I sort of kind of forgot. I mean, and I sort of feel like, I mean, you have like the absolute like memorable ones where like, him and Woogie are in the hotel room, and he's like, hey, so you're about ready to go on the date with Mary, so you're gonna go spank the monkey before you go. You're gonna flog the pipes. All this stuff, and like it's like, what are you talking about? And so of course he's got
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's got that on his ear. Mary's like, oh, hair gel, and does the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
her hair's, dude, classic, right? Classic stuff. So the part I think what I texted you was when he picks up the hitchhiker.
Mm-hmm.
He decides to go to, he picks up the hitchhiker. Do you remember how crazy that was? Okay, so Harlan Williams, the hitchhiker, right, gets in the car. He's got his bag, and he's like, hey man, you know how there's 8-minute abs? Well, I got something that's gonna blow your mind. How about 7-minute abs? And he's running the whole thing about 7-minute abs, and
Yeah.
asks, he wants to get in on the ground floor basically. So Ben Stiller's like, well, what are you gonna do when 6-minute abs comes out? And he's like, he can't even handle it. Like,
Yeah.
no 6-minute ad, no 7. It's got to be 7. Well, so as soon as that happens, they pull over. Ben Stiller's like, I got to get this dude, out of my damn car.
Mm.
So once he pulls over, he pulls into the truck stop.
Yeah.
A stop where there's like a lot of activity that's going down. And so yeah, so the hitchhiker takes off. Ben Stiller goes, gets apprehended from the police. And the hitchhiker had a body in the bag. So like, dude, like the police are like, how, what number is this? He's like, oh, I picked, I lost count. It starts doing that whole kind of thing and stuff. And dude, just that, and then like even thinking about like the scenes with the dog, even too, like how the dog gets caught on fire and then gets brought back to life when he throws the water on him. Dude, I mean, there's so many good scenes in that movie that, as much as I hate Ben Stiller, as much as I really don't don't care for Ben Stiller,
Yeah.
dude, I totally appreciate There's Something About Mary, man. That movie was awesome. It was good for the time that it came on. Honestly, you
Mm.
know.
See, I'm not. I really haven't. Yeah, something about Mary. I've watched it once, and then since then, just have been like, nope. You know,
It's worth
I
it's worth the
couldn't.
rewatch, dude. You
I
got
can't.
to.
I can't, man. There's like that one. That I think was the one which really set me off with Ben Stiller, where I'm like, nah. I was like, I can't. I really can't do this movie. Um, but I think that there was a. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Like, see, I'm the same way with Zoolander though. Like I said, like I could honestly sit and rewatch that one and like really enjoy it.
I do love Zoolander's good. No lie.
Yeah. So also dude, I had or I know I think we just had both seen like we were sharing that the Mandela Effect has become another big like deal. Like there's quite a few that I as soon as I saw them, I'm like, there's no way this is not true, But apparently it is, man. Um, so the biggest one is this that Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
Right.
I man, I feel like that was the line, that
Oh yeah.
like that defined the whole I Love Lucy show,
Yeah.
and
No.
it was never spoken in the show.
That's some BS, dude. Total BS.
You know,
Total lies. Total lies.
that's how I feel like too.
Total
Um,
lies.
but
Well, so for me, the one that messes me up, that as soon as I seen it, and I said something to Leah about it. She's
mhm,
right there. So Snow White, right?
mhm,
Yeah, I want to make sure that it's the right tale that I'm talking.
mhm.
But you the was it the I don't want to say the Wicked Witch because I know that that's not right. But the witch goes up to the mirror.
Yeah.
She says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall,
Mhm.
who's the fairest of them all?" Apparently, it's not mirror, mirror anymore, dude. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's always been magic mirror on the wall.
Really? I
Lies.
see. I don't know. Like for me, it's always been mirror, mirror.
Dude, yes, exactly.
And I mean, oh, what was the one that? Do you? I know that when we were back in the office and we tried to catch this with "We Are the Champions," and
Yes.
at the end of the song, I swear that there are versions out there because apparently it ends with just "We Are the Champions" and then it plays it out.
But
But
that's not how it ends.
no, it like the way I remember it and the way that apparently it isn't anywhere is supposedly it's like "We Are the Champions" and then you hear it like trail off like the "of the world." But apparently the "of the world" does not exist in this song.
Lies.
Like at the end, it's just crazy. I can't. Yeah, it's so hard to. I'm trying to think. What was the other one? The Hello Clearies from
Yes.
Silence of the Lambs too. Man, that was another one that the line like was so like profound, and it's like it just didn't exist. So I don't know. I know they have conspiracy theories of how these exist, or it's like how we remember stuff collectively, like differently. I don't know if I buy into any of those, but they need some what do you call it? They definitely need some kind of explaining, for sure. Um,
Dude, yeah. Like I said, I mean, Oliver even feels some kind of way. I'm sure that he's getting picked up right now. He remembers Mirror, Mirror on the Wall too. Obviously, he's
Oh, yeah.
he voiced his opinion on that. Thought I might be able to get him on camera, but apparently he's a little bit camera shy right now. He said that apparently the check hasn't went through yet.
Oh
It
yeah,
didn't clear. I guess I don't know. He said I gotta wait until the check clears. So
I know. I mean,
that's up.
it's hard to pay for those appearances, Like, I mean, we try, we really try. So, um,
We do what we can.
I know, right? I think the only other one that really throws me off is that whole was it Kazam? I think, or Shazam, Like, do you remember Sinbad playing a genie in the 90s?
Yes.
Hey, Logan with the follow. Thank you, sir, for the follow. I don't know if you had heard that alert or not, Bob, but
Ra-ta-ta-ta.
yes, yes, sir. I know. There's a few other things like meme worthy stuff that I was like, I'm definitely throwing up for alerts and everything. But no. Apparently, he had even tweeted that he had never played a genie in a movie.
That's
But
lies.
I see that's how I'm feeling too. Like I feel like I remember this movie, and I guess like I had to read the whole article on this one because I was like, I swear this existed. You know, and even in the article, they're explaining the whole storyline, and as I'm like reading through, I'm like, yeah, I'm like that's the exact storyline of this movie. And it's like, oh, it's like you're getting this one. What do you call it? It's like you're getting this one mixed up with like this movie kind of thing. And see, even Logan is agreeing with me here in chat. So that's I totally remember this too. So, but apparently it doesn't exist. So
Apparently, yeah.
from
Lies, man.
from Sinbad's mouth is himself. You know. Um,
Sure, Sinbad doesn't remember a lot of the stuff that he did during that time. Would be my guess.
well, we can write him off as a guest now too. Let me just go to.
We did talk about the possibility of like not necessarily going for like the A actors, and maybe not even necessarily going for the B actors, but maybe like even the C actors. I think Sinbad probably falls in that category probably by now. So he could come on. Who knows?
we I don't know, after talking about this we could probably just be like, you know what, we'll just pass over this name. I'm sure that
Who? What was this guy? What did he do?
it's like, so you remember in the 90s you played a genie.
We break the story, dude. That's what it is. Is that we totally break the story on him and why he's unless he's tied into to the organization or whatever, that he's got to say that like to cover up because if we really think about it, and if you go back, there could have been some really important information that we were missing out in that Sinbad movie, and we should have documented it and we should have recorded it when we had the opportunity, the chance to. It's all gone from us now.
Yeah.
So whatever mystery that movie once held,
Yeah.
it's gone now apparently.
True. And okay, so speaking of breaking news, which this was kind of near the beginning of everything, I know that we had briefly talked about this a little, and I mean, this is definitely not going to be the weirdest thing you've heard. I think this is going to be up there. Like, this is one of my favorite stories, like, still this year, is this 66-year-old woman is suing all gay people. Yes, all of them. And reading directly from that, a Nebraska woman is suing every gay person on earth and asking a federal judge to rule on whether homosexuality is a sin. Let me see here. She describes herself as an ambassador of God, and let's see here, and will serve as her own lawyer. This one here, okay, in her 7-page petition, written entirely in cursive,
Ooh,
she doesn't reference any case law or for U.S. District Judge, and then they give the name to consider, but she does quote the Bible and Webster's Dictionary. And I just have no words when I read this. Like, I know we used to do was it Totally True news stories, and this 100% falls into one of those totally true, does this really exist kind of thing. And I mean, Bob, wow, just wow.
yeah, no, okay, so I remember seeing this, a couple of weeks ago, and thought to myself too, like, wow. I mean, like, here we are suing all gay people. We're at the very least, she's not including people. She's just like, we're including everybody, I guess. So I guess if you were going to be right about that, then I don't know. I got nothing for this lady, but
Yeah.
I definitely I would like to hear her argument, just to laugh about it. Truthfully, like I feel
Oh,
like this is something that like that we need to follow up with, and like
oh my
see
gosh.
how that progresses.
I kind of like the idea of having a little lady on who was pulled over in the Walmart with the Pringles can filled with wine. Kind of loved that idea a lot more. A woman had been pulled over after riding one of the carts around the parking lot with a Pringles can full of wine, and it's just one of those insane things that yeah, still one of my favorite stories. And they had even created some tumblers with this too that had like the different Pringles flavors. Let's see another thing. Okay, now also I don't know how many of you had actually know that I did what do you call it? That I did write the Runner's Rise Road to Pro series or like book, and in it I had hello Bob, welcome back.
I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
back.
yep. Well, so I was just covering so in the book that Runner's Rise, like I had created a team, and I was like, oh, I was like, there are no teams with this team name that I have able to find, both in esports, normal sports, everything like that. Well, then when I came back, or like when the story just broke, I don't know if I should hate them or if I should love them. But Seattle now has a hockey team named Kraken, like Seattle Kraken, and the logo's pretty sick too. Like I don't know, had you seen any of this too, Bob, at all or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty so the typeset actually is not too terribly different than what we actually went with, honestly.
Yep.
And but with them being in Seattle, I really do like the version where they have the S with some of like almost like the like some of the bevel, and also just with the eyes and the S as
Oh
well
yeah.
too, to kind of make it, dude. Yeah, it's a pretty sick logo, honestly.
Yeah, I know that was as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, I was like, I mean, honestly, I love the logo that you had come up with too. Like, and I still feel like that's gonna make it on like either some kind of jerseys or some kind of like I don't know, some kind of wear that I might have, just any kind of gear, you know. But that kind of takes the wind out of the sails of a future esports team named Kraken that's based on the book. So, am I gonna follow hockey because of this? I don't know, maybe. Like, I might actually have a team in the, or might have like a dog in this race here for that sport. So,
So something else that just kind of I sort of thought about. So
mm-hmm.
this afternoon, talking about like I can't remember how this got brought up, and why I immediately just sort of jumped into it. But like, so the Blackhawks. I don't know if you heard anything about this today on the score or whatever,
Hmm.
but they have a petition that with the Indians, the
Mm-hmm.
Redskins. The Redskins. They are doing a whole entire brand change. Redskins is very derogatory. The Cleveland Indians. They also too sounds like they're doing like a whole rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
They had a mascot that was that depicted a Native American, and you also have some other teams as well too, and the Blackhawks are one of them that sort of seem to be very proud of their history.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess I would be curious to get your opinion on this, as liking hockey,
Mm-hmm.
as kind of following the Hawks, because I have some friends that I know that also are as die hard as I am about the Cubs and bleeding Cubby blue. Shout out to the Ivy Boys.
Yep.
I know some friends that feel that type of way about the Blackhawks as well. So basically, all this is saying that they do not want to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that they are going to do is they are not going to have headdresses. They're not going to allow anybody to wear a headdress in the stadium or at the United Center.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to be more informative and more educating the fans more about the tribes that were around here because what they're saying is that they pretty much got the okay and the clearance to from the local tribes to keep the Blackhawks
Yeah.
as their their mascot of choice. I've heard some people say, well, they could just get a bird, just get like a logo of a bird and call it a day, honestly. But I feel some type of way about.
Hey, Bob. It's okay, man. It's a live show. Live show.
Things
I'll take
happen.
it out in
Live-
post. We're good.
Yep, there it is. Jeez, but I don't know where you're at, Vince, or what I was. But basically, I just was curious what your thoughts were about that as being a Blackhawks fan.
I mean, being completely truthful, I am not a sports fan, at all. You do kind of know that. And I mean, as for the Blackhawks, I mean, like I definitely need to kind of look more into that. Like, I mean, I'm definitely all for trying to be, I guess, as sensitive as possible to, like, basically to everyone. That's, and I mean, I can see where a lot of people would feel that this was rooted, like, in like racial, like backgrounds, just to be like, oh, it's like, oh, man, like I can kind of see where it's like, oh, it's like we need something fierce, something that seems dangerous, and it's like, let's go with like the Blackhawk, or like, but I mean, you could also see the flip side of the coin where it's like, so it's, man, I mean, the obvious ones, I'm 100% for, like it getting changed. Like you said, like the Redskins, like, the Cleveland Indians, like I could kind of see that. As for like was it, like, I don't know if it was after, like, was it the Black Hawk tribe, like where, like, again, it's like, that's kind of where it's like you kind of have to, I feel like they would more have to reach out to the source, to see how, like, how they actually, like, how the tribe actually felt about this, and then, like I said, like, I was kind of wondering about even like something like the Kansas City Chiefs, like if that's
Dude,
something that might have to be like examined too.
dude. So that's immediately where I kind of went because, so like I was saying before my internet went out.
Yeah.
Was that at high school we were the Golden Warriors and our logo was a full headdress and now it's a S with the feathers on it, which but like the thing was is that like that logo really meant something. I feel like to them, I feel like more to the majority than the minority, honestly. Like a lot of people were very proud of being a Golden Warrior and sort of just all of that, really everything that it entailed, really. So I originally was one, for just this particular town, for this particular area, and what it sort of meant. I was one that was pro, keep it, don't change it. There's history to it. I understand, like, like total, slander, like the Redskins, like that's terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's terrible. I also know I'm not gonna air their dirty laundry and stuff, but there is or was a town that used to be in the same conference as Sterling in football that they were something terrible. Honestly, and they were called that when I was in school, and then I guess I really didn't realize it, honestly, until when somebody finally said something, because now they're not what they were called. When they had said something about it, I was like, oh my god, like why did we let that go for so long? Wow.
See, I think the most okay, so we, what was it? I think it was I don't remember if it was, I think it was middle school, where they were changing the mascot. Like one of the years I was there, I believe this was middle school. It might have been, yeah, it had to be middle school, because it was like, oh, it's like now we were gonna change it. You know what the team name and everything was gonna be, and I remember that like people would give suggestions, and the one that actually won, like that had like won like the popularity contest, was the Aces, and like the school had actually like shot that down because it's like, oh, it's like this could be like gang affiliated, or this could be like, and I'm like, the Aces, like, really? It's like you could, like, there's so many ways that they could have taken that, instead of actually like the playing cards kind of idea. It's like, what if you put like one of the one of the old school like planes in there, like the flying aces kind of thing, or something like that. But I remember at the time, I'm like, wow, I was like, if that's what wins, and then you automatically take it as, oh, we can't spin this any good way, like, or just didn't even attempt to spin it, and so I think they ended up taking the mascot for the high school, which was like the Eagles, instead of going with like anything that was voted on. Like, I think that might have been like third or fourth choice, honestly.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, in that case, it's like, why wouldn't you just instead of being like, hey, everyone should vote for these, and then publicize what the results were, but then be like, but we're gonna go with this one instead, like, why? Like, shouldn't have just done that. um well, I guess it's the second most controversy after the what was it, the fish being thrown on there.
There you go.
On that,
Go.
which is also on the channel too, on the YouTube channel.
Very
um
true.
yeah, and
Over 2,000 views, man. You're viral,
oh
bro.
gosh, that's, I don't know about viral, but that was definitely very surprising to see how many views there were. And I mean, yeah, pretty, I don't know, pretty wanted there, because other people were asking for more videos like that, and I'm like, I only got the episode I'm in. That's all I care about. It's like, as soon as I hit MTV, I was a diva. I'm like, nope.
I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you at all. Being a diva, there's a whole another line of revenue we could really sort of look into, possibly opening up. Coming soon, Beyond the Cube, be on the lookout. The Ivy Boys made an announcement that they have merchandise that's for sale, coming very soon, to the Beyond the Cube website. So beyondthecubepodcast.com. Pretty soon you'll be able to pick up some merch there. We had a few items that you were able to do with the Patreon.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Hey, see, there it is right there. Dude, the most organized podcast in the 815. There it is, proof right there. I'm going to show you what I got on.
Yeah. Hey.
Blank shirt, waiting for a Beyond the Cube print on it is what it is.
There you
no,
go.
but yeah, like I said, we've had some prints. Vince probably just displayed one that we ran some Patreon stuff on. So we're bringing back some old school prints, which is pretty cool and exciting. Will be able to be ordered on the website, along with updated merchandise and stuff too. So that's going to be really, really cool. But I segue from that important message to bring up something totally juvenile. How about we start like an OnlyFans for Beyond the Cube?
Yeah.
So for y'all that do not know what OnlyFans is, do yourself a favor and don't search for it while you're working. So I may have heard from this from another podcast. I don't know. But apparently, you could go onto this website. You could register. People will give you money for pictures of yourself, maybe in provocative positions, maybe displaying certain body parts. We've sort of thought of a way that we could capitalize on OnlyFans, Beyond the Cube OnlyFans, by doing pretty much what we do. I was thinking, maybe for $10, you could watch me sit down and write some code.
There you go. Yeah.
No.
So I've heard this multiple times, where like the sexiest like that I am is when I'm either like doing laundry or when I'm cooking or like reading a bedtime story or like fixing the mower. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I should just do videos of that, you know? Like I'll just break out, one of the kids' books, just, act like I'm reading it cuz I mean, I'm not the content, I'm not going to be involving a child in that. But if I act like I'm reading a child a
Right.
story, or just go ahead and set the camera up and then start doing laundry, you know? And I
See,
mean,
I'm a fan of doing the dishes.
yeah, see?
I am I don't mind being the dish doer.
See,
You know,
I would do the dishes if we didn't have a dishwasher. Like that's the like it's weird because it's like whenever we have a dishwasher, I haven't done really good with that. But whenever we had to hand do the dishes, like I was all over that. Like I mean, it's like food was cooked. It's like we were done. It's like and there I was at night, like just washing away. It's like getting them dried, being like, all right, these are good. So
there it is. Like I said, I mean, just something kind of sort of think about. Actually, we didn't. The big news of the day is, truthfully, which there may or may not be documentation about this. You may have seen almost a tag team sort of Beyond the Cube OnlyFans this evening.
oh yeah,
Vincent brought brought the truck over from the father-in-law. Shout out to the father-in-law. Thank you so much for letting us borrow the truck. We moved a box spring and a mattress.
yep.
You could have caught that on Beyond the Cube OnlyFans.
Yeah, it was impressive, I mean, next time, like that was just live, That was people didn't have to pay. It's like you can just be driving down the block and be like, "Damn, what are those two doing? Just moving that, moving that bed."
They got that box spring and the mattress in the short bed. Ooh, wow, they're too good. And they didn't tie it down and they got there safely. Man, those guys know what they're doing.
That okay?
Wow.
That honestly, like, I wasn't gonna say it before when we were moving this thing, but it's like now that we're done, yeah, I was nervous as hell having that thing not tied down and then the back of the truck. Like I'm kind of notorious for doing like saying stuff like that too because I'm like, oh my god, it's like I'll go ahead and I'll do it, but it's like you think this is gonna be okay? I'm like, yeah, this is fine. It's like it's perfect. We got this. And then later I'll be like,
worked.
oh my god, that worked. It's like, what were we thinking?
I feel like that happens a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
even
God.
what was it? Even what was it? When last time I had the truck too, I had to take move a fridge and a stove, and I mean, I tried to maintain my calm and cool, and then the whole time I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, is this gonna work? It's like I think I have this thing tied down. It's like these things are pretty heavy on the top as well on the bottom. It's like I'd hate to think for this thing to follow the truck. So
There you go.
yeah. So
There it is.
hopefully Mary's not listening anymore, so that she didn't catch that part. So next time we have to do anything that's kind of sketch, and I'm
Nothing.
like, oh yeah, I was like, this is easy, no problem.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
But let's see, Bob, what have you been Spotifying, man?
Yeah. So shout out to Robert.
Mhm.
Threw a few tracks my way, and I'm really kind of checking out on Spotify. A group called Tender. Checking them out here. They, like I said, the first couple times I've sort of listened to them and stuff. So that's sort of what I've been listening to. Come down when you're ready. I also want to give a shout out again to Josiah of Settling Houses. The last time when we were on last week, I didn't really I felt kind of bad because I was like, oh, that one song, Good Things.
Mhm.
Y'all go to Spotify now, go check out Good Things. Look up Selling Houses, and then once again, listen to Good Things again, because it's great. It's so great. The singles that he's had, it looks like there's been 5 of them that have kind of come out over the past maybe like 7 for the past 2 weeks. No, sorry about that. That makes no sense. The past 2 months have all been really, really good. And it's been cool because speaking of a diva, I've been able to hear them kind of crafted different ways, and the the um, the way that Josiah is going with his with the music right now is awesome. Honestly, it's so cool to see him to grow as an artist and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and good things like it's awesome, man. So head over to Selling Houses, look up good things on Spotify. That's really what I'm listening to.
Yep.
What about you, Vince?
I've kind of still been going with the Stream Beats by Harris Heller. He actually makes a lot of copyright free music, and just offers it to like streamers, YouTubers, everything like that. And so I've still been digging a lot of his stuff. And he's had there was a synthwave playlist that came out, as well as an EDM playlist that he had. And oh man, they're so good. Like you'll usually find that on the like back end of the stream, just kind of going in the background. Otherwise, work wise and everything, I have gone back to Hollywood Undead again for the I can't tell you how many time, you know. And I see that they've actually dropped a few new tracks too. And so far, I'm digging it. You know, it's nothing like how you can definitely tell that they are kind of like maturing, I guess, as a band. The stuff that they've been releasing recently has been kind of it has so much more refinement to it, you know. Man, it's just weird because it's like getting into them late. Like I really didn't get that evolution from where they first started to where they were just before this, and so now this kind of seems a little foreign to me. So not like like evolutions like how Linkin Park had it, or even like even like Disturbed or Korn, you know. But those transformations I don't typically talk about. I'm hoping that this is one of the ones that I do talk about because, like I said, a couple of the new tracks I've been really digging into. So,
Nice.
but otherwise, I have not caught the Bodega Boys podcast the last couple of episodes now. I do need to catch up on that.
Yep, same.
So,
And I guess 1.5 behind, so I'm not as bad as I thought it was.
there you go. Yep, not too terrible. So, but let me see. I know we're gonna be posting up the. We're gonna probably keep up the topic, of how you tempt fate, on Facebook and Twitter. I'm sure, and then we'll also. I don't know. I'm sure we'll come up with another topic for next week. You know, we'll go ahead and post that out later on. If you're going to be looking for that, go ahead and look on the Twitter at Beyond the Cube One. Or you can find it at facebook.com/Beyond the Cube Podcast. If you want to just check out the site, any kind of past shows or anything like that we've had or articles, go ahead to beyondthecubepodcast.com, or you can email us at beyondthecubepodcast@gmail.com. And Bob, where can they find us individually?
Yes, sir. So you can find Vincent Hennings at vincenthennings.com, which the site has been updated. Has it been backed up? Well,
It's been up. It's been backed up. It has not been updated yet.
I got it backwards. So it's been backed. It's been backed up.
Yep.
But it has not been updated. So yeah, but you can find some good information there at vincenthennings.com. Remember, it has recently been backed up. Has not been updated recently.
Not yet.
Not yes. But you can also find them on Twitter at Kindros, Kindros. Lots of tweets with authors and the writing community. They support each other. It's great. It's a beautiful thing. Also, you'll see pictures of Micah possibly streaming as well too. I got to see a really cool snap from Meredith the other day. Shout out to Meredith, where Micah was literally right where Vince is sitting at right now with the headset on, playing and I believe he was kind of practicing his stream, is what I think it was.
Yeah.
It was so cool, man. Super.
I do
cool.
have it recorded. That's going to be that is going to be edited and posted up somewhere. I don't know where, but he literally sat and did that for an hour, and it's the most adorable thing. Like I definitely have to share it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. So yeah, so make sure that you follow Vince on Twitter, so when he does share that, you can catch that as well too. So yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Bobo_815. I am also online on the Google machine at bobdoeswork.com. I made it really convenient, easy if you're on Facebook, which I am not anymore. I'm not on Facebook right now. I'm only doing Beyond the Cube and Bob Does Work stuff, but you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Bob Does Work. You'll see a lot of different stuff that I'm working on, which is the whole reason why I do work. You got some work you want me to do? Shoot me a message. Go to my website. Go to the contact me form and let me know what kind of work you want me to do. I want to give a shout out really quick to Oki Handcrafted. So Oki Handcrafted, they basically make they make cans. They don't make cans. They make candles and different wax melts and so this right here, I've got some beard balm here from Oki Handcrafted, and y'all, I mean, look at my beard. It looks fabulous. Honestly, it smells good. It's nice and conditioned. Appreciate the people over at Oki Handcrafted. Check them out, man. Local, small business here, the 815. Go support your small business and stuff, man. Check them out. Lots of really good products, reasonably priced, and I believe it doesn't take very much to get free shipping as well too. So, once again, shout out to them, man. Good looking out. Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate you, Tanya. Once again, I'm a super big fan of the beard balm, and you hit me up and asked how, a while ago, what do I do for the beard and stuff?
Yeah,
and this
true.
stuff right here, man, I'm very impressed with this. So I'm definitely going to keep this, on stock for sure. So unless I'm not going to have another Britney moment and shave it all off, as y'all can see, it's.
I might. Well, maybe not shave it all off, but
it's dude. This even for what you got, dude. You need to pick up some of this stuff, man. I'm telling you. But no, yeah. So that's where you can find us. Find our friends as well too. Oki Handcrafted at okihandcrafted.com. They're also on Facebook as well too. I think that's all I got, man.
Yeah, cool. So all right, yeah. Well, I guess we can't really tell Craig to get out of here because
we tried to.
He didn't even show up. So
nope.
It's okay.
But right. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I want to hear Josiah hear that song because I know that we're gonna do that on the edit. So.
Okay, ready. What a time to be alive. I'm not kidding. It's the best in 815. Well, she said she don't like beyond the cube. I said I don't know what to do with you. I think about love when I'm thinking of the sterling state of mind and the cube don't stop for no man, no sir, no plan. Straight talk for an hour. Speak of the power that people listen to. They are looking.